My name is Paige Allen, and I'm one of the physical health and wellness coaches with Wounded Warrior Project. Today, I'm going to lead us through a lower body circuit workout, including a quick warm-up and a cool down. To get started, let's go ahead and just march in place for about 30 seconds. So I'm going to get my timer, and let's go ahead and start. So 30 seconds, just marching in place, beginning to feel our bodies warm up. Remember, it's really important that we do a proper warm-up to get the blood flowing, to make sure that we prevent injuries in the future. All right, a couple more seconds here. You can add some arms so you can take those knees a little bit higher as well. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go ahead and add some knee hugs here. So bringing that knee in and then switching sides. Just some little knee hugs here, about 30 seconds. You can hug under the knee if that feels a little bit better, less pressure on the knee. Good. 15 seconds. Keep a nice tall chest. Make sure we're breathing. Good. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So we're gonna go into a hip hinge here. So again, we're gonna put about 30 seconds on the clock, but we're gonna make sure that we're hinging at that hip joint. So if you march in place and find that crease, feet are about hip width apart, we're gonna push those hips back, keeping our legs relatively straight, maybe a slight micro bend in the knees. So hinging at the hips, and then standing back up, all right? So 30 seconds, hip hinging, and go. So hinging back, making sure we're driving those heels down as we push the hips back, keeping our backs nice and flat. We can add a reach if we want to ensure that our back is staying nice and flat here. About halfway done. Good. Some easy hip hinges here, preparing our body for some lower body movements. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right. Next one that we're gonna do, we have a video for some variations of squats as well, but we're just gonna do some sit to stands. So we're just gonna sit and stand. Maybe trying to just tap the seat and stand back up. So from the side view, tapping down and sitting back up, keeping the weight in our heels. All right, so we're going for 30 seconds. Good, keeping that chest up. Keeping the core strong here. Knees are tracking over the toes. Good. About 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. All right, our next one is gonna be a lunge with an overhead stretch. So for this one, we can just go ahead and do a reverse lunge. We're gonna lace our fingers together as we step back. We're gonna add a reach overhead, and we're just gonna alternate, okay? If that's too much to add the reach, we can just take our hands out in front of us. All right, so about 30 seconds, and let's go, 30 seconds. A little lunge, maybe we add that overhead reach here. Alternating legs, making sure we're working on the quality of our movements. Good. Almost there. You know, it's still the warm up, getting the blood flowing, and rest. All right, our last one, we're gonna wake up those hamstrings a little bit more, as well as start to work our upper body a little bit, so everything's nice and stretched out. So we're gonna do inchworms. We're gonna walk our hands out, keeping our back flat, holding it for a moment, and then walking those hands back in and slowly standing up. All right, so we're gonna do 5 of these instead of going for time. All right, ready? Inchworms, hinging at the hips, walking those hands out, pausing for a moment, walking the hands in, bending the knees slightly, standing up. 1. Good. 2. Make sure we're breathing through the movement. 3. Good, hopefully we're feeling a little bit more warmed up here. Make sure you grab some water if you need to. So we're gonna do 2 circuits. So we're gonna take 3 movements, go through those 3 times. We're gonna do the movement for 30 seconds, rest for 15 seconds. So 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off, 45 seconds in between each round, right? So this first circuit, we're gonna start with squats. So just standard squats. Feet about shoulder width apart, toes slightly turned out, and you're just gonna go down and stand back up. You can do any squat variation that you would like, but for this particular exercise, I'm going to be demoing the standard squat. Second movement, we're gonna do side lunges. So just shifting the weight from side to side. As we shift our weight, we're making sure we're keeping our hips back, and we're keeping our knees above the shoelaces, never past the toes. Just alternating side to side. Last exercise for this first circuit will be hip bridge marches. So we're gonna lie on our backs, we're gonna lift our hips up, and you can do regular hip bridges here, or to add the march, we're gonna keep our hips up, driving those knees in toward the chest, and rest, okay? All right, so 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off, 3 rounds through. So remember, after we go through the first round of exercises, we're gonna break for about 45 seconds, go through it again, break 45 seconds, and again. All right. When we're ready, we're getting ready for those standard squats. We're gonna start in 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. 30 seconds. Keep the chest up, keep the core strong here. Very good. Remember, keep the weight in the heels. Good. Almost there. Breathe. About 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rest for 15 seconds. We're moving on to the side lunges. So remember, shifting our weight from side to squat side, pushing our hips back. All right, 3, 2, 1, and lunge. Side to side lunges. Good. Shifting our weight. Keeping that core nice and strong here. Chest is up. Here we go. 10 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Rest for 15 seconds. We're making our way back down to the ground for our hip bridge marches. Backs are relaxed, shoulders, hips starting on the ground, and up. Driving into those heels. We're adding the march. We're bringing the knees in toward the chest while keeping the hips elevated as high off the ground as you can. Try to keep your body from rocking side to side. Good. Halfway there. Breathe. 7 seconds. Good. Keep it going. And rest. All right, first round is done. We're gonna go through that again in about 45 seconds. Make sure and grab some water. Keep moving if you need to. Good. How are you feeling? Always do a little check-in with yourself, right? About 15 seconds, and we'll start back with those squats. 10, 5 seconds. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and squat. Good. Focus on our form here. Good. Take your time. Maybe if you do this again later this week, you notice you can go through it a little bit faster. But safety is always going to be first, all right? Listen to our bodies. 10 seconds left. Good. 3, 2, and 1. All right, 15-second rest. And then we're going back into our side lunges. Toes slightly turned out. 3, 2, and 1. Remember, we're pushing those hips back. We're not pushing off of our legs. We're making sure that when we push ourselves back up, we're pushing through the heel of that foot. Shoulders are staying in line with the hips. Halfway there. Good. Keep it moving. 3, 2, and rest. 15-second break here. All right, we'll be back on the ground for hip bridge marches. All right, up in 3, and go. Driving those knees in toward the chest. Arms are helping to stabilize our core if you need it. Good. In through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. Halfway there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Good job. All right, 45 seconds, and we're going through it one more time for our first circuit, and then we're moving on to our second circuit. All right, 30 more seconds of rest. Grab some water, grab a towel. Get mentally and physically ready for this next round. All right, here we go in 5 seconds. Back to our squats. 3, 2, and go. Good. Hopefully our lower body is starting to feel. We're feeling good, we're feeling strong. And we're continuing to move. 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, preparing for our last round of side-to-side lunges. And we're up in 5. Here we go. And go. Shifting that weight from side to side, making sure our knee and our toes are tracking appropriately. Especially if you're starting to feel a little tired, focus on that form. Hopefully everyone's feeling strong, those legs are working, we're feeling good. Good, 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. All right, slowly make your way to the ground for our hip bridge marches. Really good for the hips, for the glutes, all the above. All right, and we're up in 1. Good. 30 seconds on the clock. Lifting those knees in toward the chest, keeping those hips off the ground if we can. Relax those shoulders. Driving through the heels to keep those hips elevated. Good job. Let's see if we can speed it up for the last 7 seconds. And rest. Very good. All right, grab some water. Let's take a minute of a break here as I explain the next circuit. All right, this next circuit, we're gonna start with a wider stance, so our Sumo Squat. So toes a little bit further wider or further apart, about shoulder width, maybe a little bit wider, toes turned out. Now what we're gonna do is sit down and stand back up. If you can, maybe touch the ground, or maybe you just kind of reach down, reach in front of you. So we'll do 30 seconds of sumo squats. Second movement. We're gonna go back to that reverse lunge we did at the beginning in our warm-up. We're gonna bring it to a high knee. So reverse lunge to a high knee. 15 seconds through, we're gonna switch to our other leg. So we both get both legs. And our last movement in this circuit is gonna be our skaters. So side to side. Kind of like side hops, maybe we're able to touch the ground. Keeping our backs nice and flat. All right, good job. All right, here we go. So we have a few more seconds. Again, sumo squat, reverse lunge to a high knee, and skaters. Same time, 30 on, 15 off, and 45 seconds between each round. All right, we have 8 seconds. 4, we're going into our sumo squats. And go, wider stance, keeping those shoulders up, stacked above the hips to start with, driving down and then pushing through the heels to stand back up. You can do whatever feels better with your arms, as long as we're keeping that core strong and the gaze forward. Good. 4 seconds. And rest. All right, again, preparing for a reverse lunge to high knee. I'll hold my timer so I remember to switch us. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Reverse lunge, high knee. We're gonna do 15 seconds on this leg, and then we'll switch. Good, working that balance too. It's a little bit more challenging when our legs start to get a little bit more fatigued. And switch. Sit back with your other leg and drive through. You may notice one leg is a little bit more wobbly than the other, and that's okay. And rest. All right, getting ready for those skaters. So again, if it's more of a hop, that's okay, or even a step, or you can go a little bit more of a jump. 2, 1, and go. And like we're just skating through. Good. Doing the best that you can. Now we just keep moving, keep breathing. Halfway there. Keeping the chest up, keeping the core strong. 4, 2, and rest. 45 seconds, and then we're back to sumo squats. Round 2 of circuit 2. Here we go. Sumo squats. Nice wide stance. Chest is up. 30 seconds. We're about halfway there. Ten seconds, here we go. And rest. Moving to those reverse lunges to high knees. In 10 seconds. All right, 3 seconds. Ready? And go. I'll tell us when we're about 15 seconds or halfway through to switch. All right, 5 seconds before we switch. And switch. Good. Here we go, 5 more seconds. Rest. We're going back to our skaters, so side to side. in 8 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and go. So again, maybe it's just a side hop. Maybe you go a little bit lower. And it also depends on space. Good. Remember to breathe through the movement. Focus on the form. And when in doubt, just continue to move. 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Great job. Last round. Here we go. Starting with those sumo squats. In 5, 3, 2, and go. Nice wide sumo squats. Targeting the inner legs a little bit more. Working on that hip mobility as well. Continue to breathe. Continue to keep the chest up. 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're hitting this reverse lunge to high knees in 5 seconds. Ready? And go. Reverse lunge, high knee. Good. Last round here. Finish strong and switch. Five seconds. 2, rest. All right, in about 12 seconds, skaters. 5 seconds. Here we go. And go. Side to side. Keeping the core strong, keeping your knees just in front of you. Helps with balance, but it also helps make sure that we're staying in good form. Halfway there. Five seconds. Keep it going. And rest. Great job. Whew. Grab some water, and then we're gonna cool it down and begin to stretch. All right, so let's start with those hamstrings, all right? So let's take our right foot out in front of us, heel is down, toes are pointing up. We're gonna do that slight hip hinge. Our left leg is gonna stay bent. And all we're gonna do is reach down toward our toes. If our hands don't touch our toes, that is okay. We'll just bring them to our knee. Again, make sure that we're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth or the nose. Maybe we feel a little bit warmer now. I know I do. All right, stand back up and let's switch legs. So now we're balancing on that right leg, the left foot is in front, toes are up, heel is down. Push the hips back, slight bend in that right knee. Reach down toward our left toes. So as you push your heel down, draw your toes towards you, you're gonna feel a bigger stretch in the back of that left leg. All right, slowly stand up. Let's take our feet about shoulder width apart. We're gonna take a big breath in, inhale those arms up. Exhale, slightly bend the knees. We're gonna hinge at the hips. We're gonna flatten our back, bring our hands down toward the ground. We might straighten out our legs a little bit more here. Feeling a nice big inner hamstring stretch. And let's walk our hands over toward that right leg. Turn the right toes out to the side. If we need to come a little bit further out, that's okay too. And then walk our hands back to the center and walk them over to the left, turning our left toes out this time. Again, adjusting the stance however you need to. One more breath here. And walk our hands to the center. Toes slightly turned out, bend those knees, and gently roll on up. All right, we're gonna hit our quads next. So if you need to hold on to something, you can always hold onto a chair or counter, whatever you have. Let's go ahead and grab the back of that right foot. Keeping our shoulders stacked over our hips. If you turn to the side, we're trying to pull that knee back a little bit, as long as you don't feel any pain in the knee. We're stretching the front of our leg here. Good. Go ahead and switch. Grab that left foot. Again, focusing on keeping the chest up, keeping the knees somewhat down. And go ahead and shake it out. Maybe we roll our feet out a little bit. Take those feet apart again one more time. Inhale up, exhale, swoop down. Inhale up, one more stretch here. We're gonna do a good hip flexor stretch. All right, so we're gonna cross that right foot over that left leg, and we're gonna sit back. So it's actually back of the hip, not hip flexor. And just like you're sitting, if it's easier, you can always sit in a chair and get this really good hip opener stretch here. All right, and then we'll switch sides. So taking that left foot over the right thigh. If it feels okay, maybe you slightly shift your weight forward. Again, always hinging at the hip. We're never rounding our spine, so we're keeping those shoulders back. And then go ahead, sit back up, unhook the leg, stretch whatever else you would like to stretch. And thank you all so much for joining me for this lower body circuit workout today. Have a good one. See you next time.